Okay, so today we're gonna finally put some parts on the Supra. Took long enough, right guys? Okay, so Winter's box showed up. Winter's quick change. We've been doing a lot of Winter quick change stuff here. There's some stuff. But the plan is open this box, put a new Winter's quick change in the Supra, and then there's some this other box, there's some, we got some spare parts for Chris Forsberg's quick change, his second one that I was rebuilding, but it needed a couple parts, so mine needed parts, his needed parts. They're in that second box. That's for another time, but for tonight, we're going to go work on my Supra. Me and Joe are gonna put the Winters in, and then also we're gonna axles in, drive shaft shop axles, and then a couple other things in the back. Just wrap up that area back there, and then still don't have exhaust manifold ready and some other stuff, but yeah, moving forward. Ooh, fun fact. Hypertune now makes an exhaust manifold. Super cool. This is one cast piece for where the collector is. It's like a billet cast. No, it's not billet. It's just like stainless cast collector with these spots for the dump. All wastegates go there. We would have to kind of plan this out, I guess. This wouldn't fit directly in the Supra right now without changing my downpipe and my charge pipe. So this will go in the practice car. So it's really cool. If you guys are interested in one of these for your JZ, hit me up. They're not on our website, but I can get them for you. You can't have this one though, but there's other ones, so you could get one of those. Alright, so Joe and I are gonna work on this area back here. Now that we have the right camera, even though it's dark, bad lighting, you can actually see what's going on in there. That's strange, huh? No, that's what we needed before. Okay, so we're gonna grab the Winters, then we will start putting it in, and then we'll put the axles in, tighten some stuff up. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Winters is ready. We put the better cover on the back that I had from last season. We made a new vent because the other vent was a little hard to get on and off. Now Joe's pulling these top 3 through bolts out, and we hang off the top 3 there. We also connect to these 2 points, and then we connect in the front there. So we have Jimmy over there. He's gonna help us. So I'm gonna run this camera back over there, and then me and Joe will carry this over and start putting it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We in.
Woo! That was easy, right? Yeah, we did it. Good job, guys. Alright, so we got the 1 through bolt in up there. If you can see. No, you can't. That one. It's like. So now we're gonna put all the other bolts in. Like these ones up here, 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 and the side bolts. Okay, I'll start putting those in. Do you want to try and do the axles?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe?
Yeah.
The new ones are right here. Well, probably just use that pair. This is the odd one. I'll put this back in the trailer. And then it might have came with some hardware. If it didn't, we have bolts right here. But if you find like one that you don't like, the end on it, you know how we find those sometimes?
Yeah.
Then we gotta mess with it. Alright, so Joe's gonna start putting the drive shaft shop axles in. I'm gonna do the bolts. We'll catch up with you guys in a second. So Joe has a question for all you people.
How many teeth does a human normally have? Normal amount of wisdom teeth too. Some people have like 8 of them for no reason.
Yeah, so normal 4 wisdom teeth plus all your other teeth as an adult with 0 teeth pulled, you would have how many? Okay, well you can let us know.
Wrong. You're all wrong.
So we got the dip in, and then one axle, both axles are in. One's like pretty snug, not tight yet, but we're getting it there. And then we put this new breather. We're gonna put a little air filter, a K&N filter or AM filter on there, and then probably just keep it out of the way. In case it wants to spit a little bit of fluid out, it can. Yeah, but for tonight, that's all the parts we have. We still are waiting for some parts for the motor. Then we'll put the motor in and finish all the plumbing, connect everything. And we're changing the rear sway bar. We do not have that yet. That might be later or right before Long Beach. We don't know yet. I guess we could take this out and paint that. Maybe do that tomorrow. I just didn't want to paint this metal yet because like I thought we'd be doing the sway bar by now. Not yet. Alright. Well, more stuff coming soon, guys. How many teeth? Yeah. Alright. Okay. Let's go see what's happening. That's Renee. That's Renee's sister, Nicole. Okay, you guys want to see what parts came in for the Supra? Okay. Well, some of them have been here. Finally got our exhaust manifold back. We had the crack in our exhaust manifold. So we got it Inconel covered by Alloy Racing Covers. You guys kind of met Mike when we had dropped off the exhaust manifold. Then we found a crack in it, so I had to get a new one. And then during that time that I was buying a new one, Hypertune decided to send me exhaust manifold, but it's too late for it to be wrapped and everything. It just came yesterday. Let's take a look at it though. Check this out. Hypertune exhaust manifold. Super nice quality, just like everything else Hypertune does, but then now they have a one-piece T4 divided, like twin scroll. It's cast, but it's like perfect for the T4 flange. So instead of having to make your own collector, it's now a cast collector divided 3 and 3 with a spot for the wastegate that they'll weld on. So I'm really interested in trying this on the Supra, but we're gonna have to wait till next season. Or maybe we could do a mid-season, but it's like when this goes on, then my charge pipe here is gonna have to change slightly. Not a lot, but like you guys know how my setup was, where I have the Inconel shielding on it and it's all kind of like in place with how it was. So I was planning on just using all my same stuff. If this would have came like a month ago, for sure it would have been on the car and dialed in, but I'm gonna first weld in a little port here so I can get back pressure. I just take it off one side, just assuming that both have similar back pressure, both sides because like it's divided. So front 3 cylinders go to this side, back 3 go to that side. And I was gonna weld in some EGTs on each one of these so that I could start going that route where I monitor my exhaust gas temperature, so then you could tune each cylinder accordingly. In case one cylinder is getting a little less fuel or air, you could make it, each cylinder, you could adjust duty cycle, or I guess it would be duty cycle, you just ramp it up on that cylinder a little bit. Okay, so Turbo Smart, all their stuff came through, so we're gonna be putting on a couple of the parts tonight we will be able to use. We got some fuel filters. These we're not gonna be putting on tonight because we're not doing fuel stuff. Let's check out this guy right here. So I'll open this box up. This is, hold on. Okay, so this is an oil pressure regulator with an oil filter connected to it. This is for your turbo. So with this, you can monitor the pressure that goes in and out of your turbo, and this is really cool. So with this, we will be able to set up, you know, exact back pressure or like oil pressure into the turbo, so we don't cook a seal in the turbo. I have never done that. I've never cooked a seal in a turbo. I'm pretty, you know, careful with my turbos, but it will turbo feed right here. So the line going to that will be routed through this Turbo Smart setup. It's really cool new setup that they have. They had, I think they came out with this last year. I just wasn't able to use it yet till this year. So this is gonna help the longevity of my turbo, which for you guys, it's a must-have because you don't want to buy a turbo more than one time, and a turbo should last you many years. Okay, and then on top of that, we had some Hypergate 45s come back from being rebuilt. Marty over at Turbo Smart self-checked them, or checked them himself. He did a pressure test, and if they needed new diaphragms or new clamps or bolts or whatever, he would have replaced it. So this is one that I'll be putting back on the car. It was used last season, but then he just goes through and rebuilds what needs to get done. You can see, I don't know if you can see in there. Can you? No, it's hard to focus on that. Well, regardless, you can, there's like assembly lube on the inside. You could tell he went through it, so that's a good sign. And then last but not least is, whoa, these boxes are hard to open on one hand. That's why you need 3 arms or a helmet cam. So this is the FPR 1200. Let's get that out of the box. The new design, let's check out the old one. That's similar, but you know what? It's a little smaller. It's a little tiny bit smaller. It's black, it's all black. Just has the silver ring on it. And when we look at last year's model, it is the mid part of the body here is silver instead of black on the new one, and it looks like the hat here is slightly smaller. Oh, you know what? They made it look like the wastegate pretty much. That's so cool. That is cool. Okay, so this is the new FPR 1200. We're gonna be putting this on the car. Hopefully I can do that tonight. If not, I kind of want to just focus on getting the motor in the car tonight, even if no hoses are hooked up. Just like get the motor in with the exhaust. The exhaust manifold has to be on before it goes in the car because the strut tower tilts on a Supra. Here, let me show you. So see how it's kind of like pointing at an angle a little bit inward toward the motor, so it just makes it like a nightmare to take the exhaust manifold on and off when the motor's in the car, and I just don't want to go through that. So I learned that many years ago. So now I do everything when it's out of the car that I can, that I know won't interfere when I'm dropping the motor in. So that is what we're gonna do. Then we'll do this fuel pressure regulator, the wastegates, and probably like the plumbing of that if I do that tomorrow or over this weekend, because today's Thursday, so this weekend's gonna be crunch time and try and do as much stuff on the Supra as I can, and hopefully by Sunday have it running. If I don't run into issue, because there's always issues with race cars, so and then you need a part and you gotta wait. So I plumbed the turbo drain for this BorgWarner EFR 9174. In my opinion, best turbo ever. But you gotta drive it to experience it, then you can get your own opinion off that. I guess any EFR turbo, if you've driven any other turbo and then you put an EFR BorgWarner on your car, there's no question it's definitely the best spooling turbo ever. So gonna put the front half of the turbo on, tighten up right here. These are loose right now. I was just getting everything situated and double checking on stuff. So gonna do that right now, and then I'll probably put the rear wastegate on, and then I'll pull the motor up in the air and go to set it in the car. Okay, so the battery died, got a new battery. Let's see if I can give you guys any closer looks at this. Check out this ARP 12, whoa, can't talk. 12-point studs and stainless hardware. Stainless studs and 12-point hardware. Okay, word it correctly, thank you. And then something that I learned over the years that works good is a hard line for your turbo drain, so it's not getting any heat from, well, my stuff's kind of a little bit crazy compared to, I guess, your average setup, because I have all this Inconel everywhere and everything. I like really thought about everything, and then over the years I figured out what's gonna fail, what won't fail. But I know you guys are thinking like, oh, that's just out of the question or over the top, but like, if you were paying to go racing and do what I'm doing, you would kind of find a way to make this stuff possible, because when like something lets you down or fails and it's something simple that might only be like a couple $100 more, you like weigh out the whole scenario of like, what if you were back in the situation right before you had the failure? How much would you pay when you're way out in Florida, New Jersey, Atlanta, I don't know, wherever you're from, like the opposite side of the country, you know? Would you pay another $1,000 to have that not fail? And it's like, even if you didn't have the 1,000 or whatever, you're gonna say, yeah, I'd pay that extra 1,000 because I already paid like 3,000 or 4,000 to get myself over there and compete just for that one weekend. So, over the years, things have evolved to be like this, but I'd like to share this stuff with you guys so that maybe you could do that even on like your street car or your project. So, hard stainless turbo drain, super good, comes in handy when you're trying to not melt down an AN line. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to work and then I'll update you guys right before we put the motor in perhaps, or just a little bit later tonight. But in the meanwhile, Joe had painted this metal structure I had welded the other week, so that's in place, painted, looks good. And that's kind of it for right now, but I'm gonna keep plugging away and update you guys in a second. All right. Burger.
Another burger.
Hey guys, so Renee's here. She's gonna drop the motor in the Supra, and then I'm gonna go home. It's pretty much ready to go in for now. Got the turbo exhaust manifold on, that's good. I'll put the clutch on when it's in the car, and then, well actually, I'm just gonna leave, and then Renee and Nicole will probably just handle it.
Yep.
Alright guys, here you go. Do you want to record while we put it in?
First. Okay, fine.
Okay, fine.
So that all fits? What you were concerned about?
So I was concerned about the area here because the Inconel shield is different from one manifold to the other, and it didn't, he thought it wasn't gonna fit, but in reality it looks like it has about ½ an inch more room than the other manifold.
Oh.
And there's the other manifold all beat up over there with a crack. So motor's in. I'm gonna change these guys over because they're silver, they're not blue enough for me, so we'll change them over. Alright, Bye, people.